5 lights. And away we go. Edge on pole position. Off they go, and I see you've got a decent start there. Edge got a very good one. He's clear into turn 1. Into 3rd place by the looks of it goes Silver.
Oh, and there's a car off. It's stopped Thomas into the wall. He lost a bit of his front wing.
There's all sorts of fun and games going on into the fast chicane there. Rev. Oh, and Ocean Chief get together, and off goes Ocean into the wall. So Edge,
He's getting into the nose.
about a half a second ahead of Sergio. Sergio's running a little bit wide, hitting the wall on the inside. That was a big impact. I'm not sure whether it got any of the front wing. It looked like he might have been alright. Very close now. Copy having to go to the outside of Bants as they run through turn 8 absolutely side by side. And I think he might just have this sort of side by side on the exit. Going to be side by side, I think, all the way up towards the far chicane. Who's going to blink here? Bants on the outside, Copy on the inside. Bants. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you are in the world. Welcome to SLR. It is Hungary in Season 2. And we are getting ready to start this one. A little bit delayed. Apologies for the delay, but we are just about ready to start this one. We only have 15 people in the lobby, though, so I guess we're going to have to wait a few more minutes for this one to start, unfortunately. But I'm Terra Incognita. Alongside me, as per usual for these races, is Mr. Thimo Brown.
Good evening. Hungary today. That will be certainly interesting because Hungary is a really technical circuit, and will be interesting to see who comes out on top here. We've got a lot of the fast boys again. Atrocity is here, Triton is here, Get Owned is here, Akos, etc. Which is of course a direct attack to anyone I didn't name.
Yeah, absolutely. It's one of those tracks that is... I think drivers tend to like it quite a lot because it's a lot of fun to drive. It is difficult to overtake, though, so it'll be interesting to see. I think track position will count for quite a bit in today's race because not only is it difficult to overtake, but you lose time while overtaking. So it'll be fun. We have a couple of other people in the we have Meritish, and Mr. Milos Martika himself is going to be driving. He's doing the enduro this evening, probably. And he's doing this race as well this afternoon, so it'll be interesting to see. Oh no, he's not doing the race.
No.
Oh no.
Oh no.
R.I.P. Milos Martika. Who just messaged me on Steam?
No, he's still in. He's still in. He's in Ferrari, and that's why.
That's why he jumped to the top of the. Okay. So yeah, we've got quite a few reserves in here today. Quite a few who aren't full-time drivers, but we do have the fast boys who are the regulars up front. We have Get Owned, as you mentioned earlier. We have Copy. We have... I'm sure we do have Astro Boys somewhere. He's not in the lobby right now.
Not yet.
But I think I'm pretty sure he is coming. Yeah, he was in chat earlier. I'm pretty sure he's coming. So yeah, it'll be a fun one. We're still waiting to get underway. Who do we have that's new? We have who's this? The G3R1Y. How do you pronounce that? How does that pass? I don't know. Geryu, maybe in the McLaren. Don't know. Maybe. We'll see. His name is Jerry. Jerry or Gary, maybe. Gary, I guess, because if he's Hungarian. That's Satoshi in chat. Thank you, Satoshi, giving us that info. So Gary, let's go with Gary. And he is in the McLaren for today.
And now the lobby is about to start.
Yeah, looks like it. So no Astro Boys.
Yeah, I think was possible to hear it by now, but no window cable, so just don't wonder what's going on if I'm lagging out again.
Yep, fair enough. So we are going to get ready to go here. We have we have Luca in here as well, so just checking who is in here. We have Wimpy, we have Bants, who's in this race today. He's been doing some practice.
Wait, Bants did practice?
Bants did practice, yeah. Well, he crashed
What?
out of an ILMS sprint race.
Ah, okay.
So he had plenty of time to practice. He decided to try and pass a GT on the way into Eau Rouge on the left-hand side on the curb. It didn't go well for him. So F for Bants and his 75 I rating loss from earlier.
Oh, yeah, I was gone again.
Yeah, it took a while to load, but we have loaded. So here we are, and we have a dry qualifying session, so no rain shenanigans, which I think is good. Certainly for this track, I think is good.
So, well, everyone's still waiting. I'm still waiting on the weather report in the meantime. We've got a lot of reserves. Cursed from tier 2, for example.
Yep, we do.
And it's dry and dry.
Dry and dry, fantastic. So that's good news, I think, for the racing. Was he driving an LMP1? If yes, then no surprise. Yep, he was driving an LMP1. Yeah, he died at Eau Rouge. But it really do be like that sometimes, Bants. Yeah. I'm afraid.
How can you possibly crash at Eau Rouge?
Well, he was trying to pass a GT. He was on the left-hand side, and it was a really dicey move, and he went past on the left and hit the curb too hard, and just exited stage left into the wall.
Wait, did he crash in Eau Rouge or Radillon actually?
Well, so Eau Rouge is that's the slight left kink at the start, right? Is that what we're calling Eau Rouge? Is that Radillon actually? No,
that is Eau Rouge.
Okay, so yeah, he hit that curb and then he went off to the left. So he never made the right-hander. He never got there.
Yeah, that is unfortunate, but funny. More funny than unfortunate.
I mean, yeah, definitely both. Pretty funny. But here we go. Anyway, F1 2018.
Stay on topic, Mark.
Yeah, 16 minutes. Well, I mean, we got 60 minutes to fill. To be fair,
yeah, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. That's. So the race to get around for the first lap. Mr. Dead Pixel has made it to the start line first, so he gets the honor of having his first lap broadcast to the whole internet. Everyone on Ultras. Yeah, everyone is on Ultras, which is a little bit interesting.
Dead Pixel is on mediums for me.
Oh, because that's... Oh, yeah, never mind. Sorry, not everyone's on Ultras. Yeah, there's half the grid, in fact, is on mediums. So, Dead Pixel, yeah, is on mediums. Along with, Bayfield, Copy, /LP, Akos, Bants, and Get Owned. Luca on softs, everyone else on ultra soft. So, I would guess the one stop is the thing to do. I don't think you can one stop. There's another. This is another one of those tracks with a 2-tire difference between the.
Oh, Triton!
Oh, what happened to Triton? What on earth happened to Triton?
He dead.
Didn't see what happened to him.
Yellow flags and... Oh! Wait, what the hell? He is parked up with a wheel missing in the middle of the track before the S section after the 180-degree, the long right-hander.
Oh dear, so he's put it in the wall. /LP. Oh, and that was a lot of opposite lock for Dead Pixel. /LP goes fastest on a 17.9. This hasn't been a particularly fast lap from Dead Pixel, unfortunately. 1 minute 20.8. We saw why in the last corner. So Triton, unfortunately, we didn't see it on camera as Atrocity goes fastest on Ultras. So Triton will be starting this race from the back, unfortunately for him. And we'll see who else manages to put lap times in here. Gary in the McLaren, new boy. He goes 5th, or 4th in fact, on a 1 minute 18.1. That's on Ultras. Here is Jesse coming through to complete his first lap as well. 14 minutes. Oh, that was too late on the brakes. Into that right-hander. Oh, and then he got on the curb on the entry there. So he's been struggling. Kirst goes 3rd with a 1 minute 17.7. So good effort from Milosh.
Oh, yeah. He's on a mission today again, of course, to
Yep.
get some points.
Well, he's. I think he's in with a chance of getting some points. I think. Today we got a few reserves in here today, and I don't think the front of the grid is quite as populated. We do have Astro Boys in chat, so hello Astro Boys, and not racing today unfortunately, so we don't get to see whether he can extend his championship lead. Gary goes fastest. That was his second flying lap on a 1 minute 15.1.
Yeah, that's always the unfortunate thing with Saturdays as race night, because people are always thinking, oh, let's use Saturday evening for real life events. That's at least my problem. Rip Assetto Corsa Spain.
Oh well. Oh, you're not racing this next weekend?
I won't know.
Oh.
I'm pretty sure I won't, because
we'll never know why not.
pissed.
Oh,
And hello.
yeah.
And
You'll have to go through the explanation again. We didn't get your explanation.
So there's a Volksfest because it's Bavaria, so collective beer consume. And yeah, people are coming from like some friends are coming from like the other end of Germany, just over, and yeah, they are there. So I cannot really tell them. Yeah, I'm sorry. I have to drive virtual cars. I'm really sorry. It's
oh well. Yeah, it's unfortunate. We'll have to resume our battle the 2 weeks after that. I don't know where that race is. As Ghetto decides to pit.
Just take out everyone that competes in the championship. Just take out Baukas and Bants, and then we're even for the third race again. I would like that. Oh damn it.
So it's have
Spa, by the way.
Oh, it's Spa. Okay, that'll be fun. Ocean Chief going. That's a decent lap from Ocean Chief. 1 minute 18.2 on the softs. Into the wall, I think, just crossed the line as well. That's a very good lap on the softs. 1 minute 17.0. Yeah, Spa will be fun in those cars.
Oh yeah.
I drove Spa quite a lot in the last year's iteration of the RSR cars. It's really fun. It's a lot of fun.
I did some to see how the car runs in general. And went fine, so looking forward to that.
Yeah. So we got Copy, who's the only person in the session other than Triton who crashed unfortunately on his first lap, so he'll be starting from the back. But Copy on his out lap now on the medium tyres, so he needs to set a lap time. And I wonder what the situation. So we have a few drivers already. We have two drivers, I would say, really, who I think are definitely going to be starting on Ultra Softs because they're not going to be able to beat the time that they've done on the Ultra Soft. That's Gary and Atrocity. So I think they're going to be pretty much at the front of the grid by themselves by the looks of things, unless we get some people towards the end of the session deciding that they are going to take a gamble in the way that we saw in the 2 SRL race last week. The front runners there, and I think Atrocity was one of them, and he ended up winning that race. Started on the ultra soft tyre, the qualifying tyre, and they were able to get a huge gap before the pit stops. So we'll see if anyone decides that they can do that here today. Be very interesting to see.
Luca is out on ultras again, but I guess he bottled his lap. He was sideways twice.
Fair enough. Copy has not managed to get anything done this lap. He's turned his hybrid off and he went across the chicane. So he's going to have to wait another lap to get a valid one in. Who else do we have on track at the moment? We have Into the Wall, who I think is... he's right behind a Renault. That has to be Bants. It can't be Triton. Because Triton no longer in this session, unfortunately. So into the wall, crosses the line. He doesn't quite manage to improve, so he will stay 5th for now. Bants is on those medium tyres. He did... where are we? He did his best lap on the mediums as well, so he must be on the same set of tyres in that case, because you only get one set of mediums. We seem struggling there through turn 2. That was where he crashed last year, of course, in a very entertaining way with Triton and Jason.
Oh boy.
Oh, again, lots of oversteer there in that right-hander. He's really struggling with the balance of that Renault by the looks of it.
Copy on and up on mediums. Still seeing how that goes.
Yeah, he's just behind Bants on track. He abandoned his last one. He's on it this time though. So into the last couple of corners he goes.
Corner cutting rules can be a bit, a bit mean here. You can easily invalidate your lap. Now he is actually pitting in.
Yeah. Wonder what happened there. So Luca has gone faster on a set of ultra soft, so he is now 3rd in this session. So he's on a 1 minute 16.0. Only 2 people in the 15s, and they're low 15s as well. So bit of a strung out grid at the moment. We don't often see this in SLR. Ocean wondering if he should go on ultras. It's difficult, isn't it? It's a difficult call. I would say that if you think you can get into the top 3 or 4, then it might be worth going on to ultras. Otherwise, it's probably not.
Yep,
I agree. That would be my call. Good lap from Wimpy as well. 1 minute 16.9 from him. He goes into P6. So he's just behind his teammate. Get owned, and that is a 1 minute 14.
Oh boy, that's a fast one.
From Atrocity. So Atrocity really putting down a marker in this session. He's come good over the last few weeks. And he is the first man into the 1 minute 14s in this qualifying session. 6 minutes to go. And we have... Sorry, go on.
He might... I mean, he'll certainly try to do what he did in Hockenheim with Tissarel again, as you mentioned, because while everyone else is behind is struggling on the soft tires, he can try and get a lead that is big enough with the gap and tire compounds. So it will be interesting to see if he can pull that off. But his pace looks promising.
Was into the wall, retired from the session. Didn't see exactly why. You see Slash LP crossing the line. He improves to 8th.
Yeah. Somewhere there's a pun about Into the Wall's name. I just can't find it.
I was sort of hoping that we might see exactly where he was. So yeah, and if he was in a wall, then yeah, it would just have been too much to resist at that point. So I would have had to have done that.
Yeah,
sadly
but
we didn't
my
get to
bar
see.
for pet jokes is lower, so I gladly take that.
Bants crosses the line. He improves very slightly on those soft tyres. Does a 1 minute 17.7. Well, in fact, that wasn't his fast lap, was it? That was the interface bugging out. So he's starting his fast lap now. Trying to get himself into the top 10 on those soft tyres, which is the favourable tyre. Akos, though, deciding that the ultras are for him. And he does a 1 minute 14.958, so he's fastest of all in this session now.
So closely matched with Atrocity, though. If it stays that way, the race will be interesting, I'm certain. At least between these two.
Yep, absolutely. We've got Bants around the tricky middle part of the lap now. Ooh, that wasn't an apex, was it? He just ran a little bit wide there, just about got away with it by the looks of it. He's still on this lap. Again, doesn't quite get it hooked up into the apex there in the right-hander. Looked very nice on entry into the left-hander, though. And again, just not really swinging out as wide as you need to there through that right-hander. He's going to cross the line. It's going to be a good lap. It is a very good lap, in fact, on the soft tyres. The fastest soft lap that we've seen in this session so far from Bants. 1 minute 16.5. And he goes into the top 5 with that. That is a really good lap from Bants.
If you, say the tire compound difference per lap is like 0.6 or maybe 0.7 seconds. Then if you count that up, then he is up there, really closely matched with the top 3 right now.
Yeah, I think it's probably just over a second between the fastest lap, or between the fastest tire here and the soft tire. So yeah, I'd say if he was on ultras and did an equivalent lap, I would put him 3rd there, just behind the front 3. As we see Milos Martika in the Ferrari.
Oh, Veltmanicka's in the wall.
Oh, what happened to Veltmanicka? Oh, yeah.
Actually, no idea. The camera angle is really weird, and I have no clue where he is.
Yeah, no, it's a pit entry. It's before the last corner, so I guess he just got loose on the exit on traction of that left-hander. It's easy enough to do, and into the wall he went.
Get owned retires.
Yep, let's see what happened to get owned. He might have just retired because he'd done his lap as Milos gets it all wrong through the right-hander.
No, Milos.
Did manage to catch it, but lost a lot of time there. So, who do we have about to do a fast lap? Luca looks like he's not about to do a fast lap. I don't know if this is a fast lap. It might well be.
Oh my god.
In that Williams.
Oh my god. Terror. It's happening. Unfortunately, in the quali and not the race. You know, Triton died. Bants has got a bugging barrier.
Oh, okay. Well, that's fun.
Yeah.
Well, is that how Triton died? Because of the barrier?
No, I think he rammed into the barrier, and that barrier then started to develop an own life, and was like, yeah, let's go shopping, let's go to the road, and I went to, oh my god, a car.
Yeah, wow. Okay, so a few things have happened. Atrocity goes fastest on a 14.6. That's a very good lap from Atrocity. Copy goes 6th on a 1 minute 16.4 on the softs. So good stuff from him. Luca also went 4th on a 15.6. Who else do we have on fast laps here? Wimpy, I think, is just starting one now. We got Dead Pixel as well towards the back of the field at the moment, and that won't have helped things around that left-hander. He's about to start a lap by the looks of things. Ocean Chief has just started his qualifying lap, or his fast lap on ultras. So at the moment, his best lap is on softs. He'll decide, I would guess, whether to finish this lap.
I'm sure Veltmanicka will hope that he gets knocked out of the top 10, because he's in a really bad position right now. He's on ultra softs in P10 while everyone around him is on softs.
Yeah, you definitely don't want to be there.
So he'll hope that Pixel improves, or maybe Ocean or Bayfield or Jesse.
Yeah, on board with Akos at the moment in the McLaren. He's coming through to complete his, what will be his final qualifying lap, trying to find himself 3/10ths to put him on that pole position. Atrocity is there right now on a 14.6. And Akos coming through the final corner now. We'll see if he's able to improve. Crosses the line, ran a bit wide on exit. Looked like it was okay. Doesn't quite manage to beat Atrocity's time. Just less than a 10th off, unfortunately for him. Here's the other McLaren of Gary, who's 3rd at the moment. Again, looking to improve. He's got to find about half a second or so if he wants that pole position. Ocean decided to abandon his lap by the looks of things, so he will start the race towards the back of the grid on those probably medium tyres, as Gary does not manage to improve his position. He will start 3rd, and that is your grid. So Atrocity on pole from 2 McLarens, both representing Team Cardos here today. That's Gary and Akos. So there we go.
Yeah.
Top 5 on
Well,
ultras.
Valdez actually out of the top 10 as well as Wim.
Yep. Wimpy, yep, just about managing to keep himself out of the top 10, so he'll be on the good tyres to start the race. But at the moment, 4 people in the top 10, all towards the back of the top 10. Copy, Bants, and 2 others. And it'll be really interesting to see whether they will be able to, despite the fact that they will lose track position, they will lose some time in the first stint, whether they'll be able to make the fact that they only have to make 1 stop count in this race.
Yeah, they will certainly be right at the front with their strategy. So it will be interesting to see how that all plays out. Also interesting in Hungary. I mean, it's in a lot of sections it's a tight track and overtaking is hard, so maybe we'll see some drivers possibly losing their nerves or their cool, and I'm not trying to summon chaos, but chaos be summoned.
Yeah, it's certainly possible. Like you said, it's difficult to overtake around here once you're in the flow of a race, so the start is where you can possibly make up some time, and I think a lot of drivers will be a little bit antsy on the first lap. You just got to be patient in these races. The making risky moves on lap 1, well, that's why we call them risky moves. They are risky. And you can, and Luca gets himself DQ'd. Didn't see why.
Yeah, and no one else gets DQ'd, so what happened there?
So he didn't hit another car.
Maybe desync car?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know, though.
Veld now.
So 2 cars DQ'd. Luca, that's not going to hurt too much because he's on the ultra softs. If he was on the soft or the medium, then that would be difficult to handle on the very cold tyres, but on the ultra soft it's not too bad.
Oh, by the way, I don't know if we have talked about that yet on commentary. The sequel of Otto Busfahrer. Can you please say the name of the car in P5?
Oh, Meretich.
Thank you.
Something like that.
Very good.
Meretich.
Meretich.
There you go. There. I did
Good
my
enough.
best. Did my best.
Nothing to blame. Wait. Something that completely caught me off guard as well is like Nordschleife 24 hours today in iRacing.
Yeah, in iRacing. So there's lots of.
I completely forgot that.
Lots of people broadcasting that. It's pretty fun, special event.
I just joined. Okay.
Well, unfortunately not racing, but I don't know whether he's here to see this start that we're about to see.
Come back, Sergius, we need you.
Here we go then, 5 lights in Hungary, and we are go. Looked like a pretty good start from Akos in second place.
Bants with a great start.
Bants gets a very good one towards the back of the grid. Atrocity on the outside, and to the inside goes a Ferrari. That was Meretich.
Oh, Gary almost spun there.
Just about gets away with it, I think. So everyone gets through by the looks of things, but Bants up to 4th on those soft tyres. If he can get that move done on Meretich in the Ferrari, they're side by side still through turn 3. And it's almost spinning on the inside. That's Atrocity. What happened there? Luca is out of the race. What on earth happened? We missed it. We missed what happened. Luca has retired though. Something happened at the front of the grid, and Atrocity trying to go around the outside of Meretich now and does manage to do that. But wow, what a disaster for both Atrocity and for Luca as well. And at the front, Akos has managed to make a break as well. So Akos is a perfect start for him. Absolute carnage happening around him. And he doesn't have to worry too much about the cars behind him.
Jesse in P3, Bants in P2. Great start from both of these.
Yep, absolutely. As we see them go through the long left-hander at the end of the lap, Jesse will be getting a little bit antsy behind that Renault. Oh, got a little Bit of oversteer there on the exit as well. He's got Gary behind him. We know Gary is fast from qualifying. So a bit further back.
Yeah, certainly. Oh, look at the amount of drivers going to the pits. I know that Garon got swamped a bit. Triton is already up in P10, Cursed up in P9.
Oh, mistake from Jesse, runs wide in turn 2. Oh, and then a bit of contact with the McLaren as well, as he tried to recover that one. Did just about save it, but almost losing control of that Mercedes. Keeps his P4 for now, though. And oh, he's just getting all sorts of oversteer on the exit of these corners. Is Jesse really struggling?
Oh, you can visibly see him getting sideways, struggling there. Copy wants to get through, of course, but he's on slower tires. And it's Hungary.
He's got Atrocity right behind him as well. You can see Jesse on those Ultras is struggling a little bit. Copy right behind that Mercedes now.
Will he maybe go for a lunge? No, better. Oh, Jesse misses his apex.
Yeah, a little bit. He's
now Copy is getting held up big time.
Oh, off goes Jesse. Off goes Jesse, and he's going to have to wait as we hear Thimo's delayed reaction to Jesse spinning out. And yeah, he's going to have to pit now, I think, is Jesse in that Mercedes. So into the pits he goes. Obviously couldn't keep those tyres.
Oh, this is painful to watch.
There we go. Doesn't get himself a speeding
Jesse.
penalty at least. So Jesse gets into the pits. He's going to be able to change his tyres now as we see Bants struggling on those soft tyres. He's in a very good position in this race though, Bants. The front two in front of him crashed out. He's got Akos 3 seconds up the road on the worst tyre for the race. And he's got Gary just behind him in the McLaren on the worst tyre as well. And Gary just got himself a 3-second penalty as well. So he's obviously trying pretty hard in that McLaren. He follows Bants through the middle of the lap, and there's nothing really he can do as Bants makes a small mistake on the exit of the right-hander. They got a little bit of oversteer there. Again, we see him miss that apex that we saw him missing qualifying. And now Gary going to be looking to make this a McLaren 1-2 on the road at least for the time being with those ultrasofts.
Oh! Yeah, I think Bants locked up a bit there, and Gary didn't find the gap.
He looked for a gap on the inside, and there definitely wasn't one. So I think he's lost his chance now for this lap at least. Maybe not though. Maybe he's got enough grip that he'll get away with it. But no, he's not close enough as they head up towards turn 1 for this lap. So Bants keeping hold of that second position. /LP down in 16th position, unfortunately for him, getting himself a penalty as well. As we see further back, get owned in that Toro Rosso, followed by Triton. They're both on soft tyres, so only 2 people on ultra softs right now. Everyone else who started on ultras has pitted. Most of those pit stops were due to crashes of one form or another.
Oh.
There's Luca, unfortunately for him, out of the race on the very first lap.
Yeah, really wish there was a
Triton across the chicane there. So he completely bailed out of the chicane. Atrocity getting himself 3 seconds. He is pitted already as well. He's gone onto those soft tyres. So he's pushing in 12th at the moment, trying to make up lost ground.
By the way, I don't have the numbers in my head right now, but I'm pretty sure Gedont will take the championship lead back in this race because Astro Boys is not here.
Yep, I think that's very likely. As we see now, what has happened to Akos? Something happened to Akos. He had a moment somewhere because he's only a second and a bit now ahead of Bants on those ultra soft tyres. We see several drivers really, really struggling with those ultra softs.
Yeah, they are probably cooked to toast already.
Yeah.
Last year, for example, here we saw the very, very sick Gymkhana drift of Michael. And I guess that was just an indication of how quickly oh no, Akos!
What happened to Akos? He spun in the left-hander, did he? We didn't see it.
He did.
So Akos from the lead of the race is, well, I mean, he's effectively out of the race. He's missing nearly all of his front wing. You can see the left-hand end plate all gone off. So Akos on those ultras, and we see so many drivers struggling with those ultra soft tyres. And Well, Akos was certainly one of them. I wonder if Gary is going to be pitting within the next couple of laps. I expect him to come in this lap because I think he's struggling now to hang on to the back of Bants a little bit. Bants in such a good position. Oh, and Gary again getting it all crossed up in the left-hander. He is pitting by the looks of it in that McLaren. So, oh, and he's not pitting. He's missed the pit lane. He didn't get it slowed down. He tried to pit. He didn't get it slowed down, though. So he's going to be doing another lap on those tyres.
Yeah, honestly, I'm pretty certain that... Bants locking up big time there. I'm pretty certain that the ones who started on ultra softs towards the front end are already basically out of the lead fight.
Yep, I think that's true at the moment. Yeah, certainly Gary is going to be dropping way back, I would imagine.
Yeah, Akos with his crash. Atrocity with having to pit really early. Gary now missing the pit lane and already still behind Copy and Bants, and he's got to do one stop more than them. So I guess this one might actually be between Bants and Copy. Maybe Get Own, Triton will have something to say about it, but it will be interesting.
I think so as well. Triton is doing his best to get past Get Owned at the moment, but we said before, very difficult to overtake around here. You get into the dirty air, and there is dirty air in F1 2018. Not much, but there is, and it is very difficult to make an overtake stick on this racetrack. So Triton going to be doing his best. He is from the back of the grid, remember, so already up to P4 or P5. As Gary will be P4 in a second because Gary has come into the pit lane. And I wonder what tyres he's going to put on that McLaren. We'll see in a second. In the meantime, Get Owned going defensive. Triton, though, not using his hybrid. And not using DRS either by the looks of it. So he's quite content to sit behind for the time being.
Copy has closed the gap by a good chunk. I think half a second in half a lap.
Yep, I think he is. He probably does have the pace on Bants at the moment.
It's one.
So Copy doing his best to reel in the Renault in front of him. So it's been a very good start to this race for Bants. So we see him a little bit sideways on the entry there into the chicane, a little bit further behind. Get Owned still ahead of Triton, and Triton surely now is going to realise exactly how much time he's losing here behind this Toro Rosso, and he's going to be trying to put himself in a position to pass. We have 5th, 6th and 7th, Wimpy, Ocean and Cursed. Not people we usually see in those positions. They're having excellent races, all three of them. So, good work. Atrocity just behind Cursed now on those slightly fresher tyres. And now...
Sorry.
I was going to say Get Owned is going to come under attack here, I think, from Triton. Triton again not using his DRS. He's quite content just to sit behind at the moment. This is really interesting because I don't know whether he's looking after his tyres, Triton, but I would certainly be a little bit more aggressive. He's got a full battery at the moment. So Triton just not particularly interested in trying to get past.
He doesn't have a full battery, for me at least.
Oh, okay, maybe there's a...
Also, I think he might have used DRS. I heard that beep sound.
Okay, so it was definitely showing him not using DRS for me, but I guess there's some sort of a bug in that case.
Get out. By the way, something I just want to mention quickly. It's really nice to see Get Owned and Triton in 3 and 4 right now, because both of them were fast at the start of the season. Now both of them finally, or both of them dropped their last assist, and now they are competitive again, which is great to see in my opinion. Yep,
it is fantastic to see, so good stuff from both of them. We're going to see a battle at the front of the field in a second as Dead Pixel gets himself 3 seconds. He's in the points as well on those medium tyres. So he stayed out of trouble at the beginning of this race, and he's reaping the rewards. This is the battle for 5th on the road. Up front, Bants and Copy, as we see, who's that, Jesse just moving aside for the pair of them.
I wish he had done that for me.
Yeah. Jesse with the epic troll of the Assetto Corsa race last week. If you haven't watched that, I would urge you to check it out on the EGL channel.
That's my way of getting over it. Just blaming him 20,000 times again and again.
And here is the admin battle, Ocean and Wimpy, and I think, was there a little bit of contact there? Did Wimpy push Ocean a little bit wide? He might have done in the second corner, so Ocean right up behind now. Wimpy not giving him any room there, though. He doesn't need to, of course. One's a little bit
If
wide.
they crash, one of them is going to lose each yell admin rank.
And behind them both, oh, Atrocity, whoa, getting all sorts of out of shape in the right-hander. So Atrocity on those newer tyres, and we saw what good pace he had.
Triton goes for a move on Gadon, never mind, but Gadon just extended the track on the outside a bit and they were side by side for a moment. I think Gadon got a warning for that because he carried a lot of speed, and now we've got yellows in sector 3 and it is Jesse. I thought it was Bants.
Nope, Bants still at the front of the field. We've got Atrocity all over the back of Ocean Chief here. Trying to find a gap somewhere. Gonna have to wait until the straight by the looks of it, though. Ocean.
Oh, Triton get owned! Turn 1 and Triton has sent 1.
So Triton gets up into third place. We're going to focus on the action behind here as well, because Wimpy, I think, going to stay ahead for the time being, and a little bit. Didn't see exactly what happened there behind them. But Atrocity looks like he's got one of those positions for the time being. And he's going to try and take the second one now, and just pushes Wimpy out of the way. That wasn't particularly clean from Atrocity. He got away with it. Oh, and then a crash! Oh, not quite a crash. Wow, Wimpy saved it. It was a really good save. Still side by side as they go up the hill. Ocean ahead. And so Ocean does get that position, at least for the time being. Where did Wimpy go? He's still there. But Wimpy, well, got pushed around a little bit in the first half of that lap. Atrocity. And again, I wonder if the stewards are going to be looking at Atrocity's move there. It wasn't the cleanest on the inside of turn 2.
No one lost admin rights yet. Copy with half a second off the leading car of Bants. Now down the main straight.
Got his hybrid turned up all the way. Has a look to the inside, just showing himself in the mirror, but nothing.
Such a long way to go there.
Yeah, he was too far back. So Copy continuing to shadow Bants for the lead of this race. Bants, though, an experienced customer, knows exactly what to do in these situations, knows exactly where to put his car, and he's not going to make it even a little bit easy, I wouldn't have thought, for Copy to find a way past.
I think out of all people I've raced on to Sorel, apart from like my lack of pace in comparison, but the two most annoying guys to try and overtake are certainly Bants and Tipsy. Not because they are driving not fair or anything, but they are really tough to overtake. They always take the inside line. They always give you exactly as much room as you need to stay barely on track.
Yep, absolutely, which is completely fair enough. That's good racing. But a good battle here between Veld and Dead Pixel for 10th. They were battling pretty much throughout the first half of the lap. Up front, things are as they were. Copy within half a second of Bants. That was a mistake from Dead Pixel there. He lost a little bit of time in the right-hander. Oh, and yeah, getting all sorts of understeer now in the fast corners, Dead Pixel. Those tyres really struggling. He's on the medium tyres. Through they go to complete another lap. Did something happen to Curse? Did Curse get overtaken there? He did by Gary.
Gary is now approaching Wimpy with rapid pace. Oh, he goes for the lunge!
Yeah, that was always a gap that was going to close. Wimpy absolutely entitled to take his racing line there. Gary having to wait at least another couple of corners. He's going to be desperate to get past here, though, because if you don't get past here, you're pretty much going to be behind throughout the whole middle section of the lap. There's not really anywhere to go, as we see.
Yellow flags.
Yeah, yellows for something. Jesse, unfortunately, off the road. You see Gary. Oh, did he push his way past Wimpy there? Certainly didn't see exactly how much contact there was, but managed to get it done in the right-hander anyway. So Gary up to 7th on the road. He's also recovering, of course, having pitted very early. Well, back up front. Again, Bants and Copy setting the pace on those soft tyres. We've had lots of incident at the front of the starting grid in this one. Bants and Copy though, from I think the third row of the grid, doing very well.
Triton got away a fair bit from Get Owned.
So yellow's in sector 2. We didn't get what you said, unfortunately, Timo. Oh, side by side, Curse down the inside of Wimpy. And has he managed to get past? He has. Not sure about that, though. Looked like he pushed him a bit wide.
Let's just got sideways through the S section, but no room to get another car alongside there.
Yeah, I've seen him back it in a few times there into that chicane, Bants. He's obviously got the car set up so that the rear end is quite lively. As Jesse retires, I imagine that was probably a crash. He was struggling a lot in this race, so unfortunately he couldn't keep it on the road after a very good qualifying and a very good first couple of laps of the race. He is now out of it.
Now in the main straight again, and Bants again got a better exit than Copy did, and Copy will probably not be able to do anything against Bants here. He's just trailing him, and I imagine he might be waiting for an undercut.
Yeah, very possibly. We're getting up towards the sort of time where people are going to be pitting. Undercut's difficult though, because it's medium tyres that you're putting on, and they are cold when you start to drive with them, so they're not fast immediately. They're fast after a couple of laps, but not immediately. So you've really got to nail an undercut as Triton gets himself 3 seconds. He's running third at the moment. The penalty situation is that I believe that Bants and Copy don't have any. Triton has 3. Get Owned, I think, has 3 as well.
Exactly, that's what I think. Atrocity will have to pit again. But he is still in the mix. He might be able to get closer to Get Owned and Triton. What I was about to say,
Triton closing the gap
to
the front two. Yeah. He's gaining a lot as Akos gets himself a penalty. As Bants, so Bants preempting the undercut and trying to pit. And we've had 2 retirements. Both of the Williams have retired. Bayfield and Into the Wall. They were running down in 15th and 16th respectively.
Both Haas, but yeah.
Oh, they're both Haas, yeah, sorry. That's almost the right colour, but not quite. As Bants puts his medium tyres on.
You would be right in 2019, I guess.
Yeah. So.
And Ocean Chief.
Yeah, getting overtaken by Gary, so he goes up the inside. Didn't really fight that one. They're both in different races. But just to show you how far Gary was behind and how much he was struggling on those ultra soft tyres, he's behind Bants, and Bants is on fresh tyres. And yeah, Etney in chat saying overcut is better here, absolutely, because those medium tyres are cold when you first put them on. So the first lap is not very fast. Wimpy gets himself 3 seconds. I wonder if we're going to see Copy dive into the pits here and try and do that overcut. I think you can only wait 1 lap if you're going to try and do it. Yep, he's going to do exactly that. So Copy drives into the pit lane.
Yeah, I think Bants was barely slower on the lap so far. It's 20.5 seconds between them before the pit stop, and now let's see where they come out for the lead of this race.
Yeah, Triton pitting as well behind. He'll be putting the medium tyres on.
Bats might also be in trouble because Gary is trying to pass him, but now...
Yep, Gary is trying to pass on the inside, and yep, there we go. So Copy has done the overcut. Bants gets overtaken by the McLaren.
And Triton is also up there.
Yep, he's right up there. So Triton has gained a lot of time in that whole situation. He's only a second behind Bants now. And again, that overcut working to perfection for Copy. So good stuff from him. And Triton's got himself a lot closer as well to the other McLaren. Oh, Bants got past Gary somewhere. Didn't see where. But Bants on much fresher tyres, of course. So Now that he's got them up to temperature, he's a little bit faster again. He's trailing Copy, but only barely. Here is Gary. /LP retires from the session. So
no.
5 retirements in this race. We're not even halfway through. Yeah, not even halfway through.
Hungary is a tough track though, so...
Yep, it is. Yeah, where you have to set the car up here. We've seen several drivers really struggle with a lot of oversteer. Let's get owned. Pits from second. Oh, it was the lead, in fact, on track. Now then, Bants with Copy in his sights. Not quite close enough, I don't think, this time. Yes, slightly older tyres. Copies will be back up at temperature now as we see Gary, of Team Cardos, running a little bit wide into turn 1. Triton is going to be trying to close that gap along with Get Owned. They're on fresh tyres, of course. Tritons are warm. Get Owns
Akos
are
and
not.
Pixels at the side. Through turn 1, and Akos has gotten the better of the fight and is now up at P8 for the moment.
Yep, so good stuff from Akos, recovering from that incident in the first few laps. He spun all by himself into the corner he's about to enter now. This left-hander. It's been a recovery drive pretty much since then. Further up the grid though, Atrocity on those soft tyres. He's already pitted once, of course. He's going to have to pit again. He started on the Ultras.
Let me have a look. I imagine he will... Yeah, he'll come out in that gap between Ocean Chief and Akos if he was to pit now, which he isn't, but
yeah,
if he was.
Probably needs to wait another couple of laps, and he'll probably put soft tyres on again. I don't know if he's used any in qualifying, but I would imagine that he'll probably do that. Copy, though, on slightly fresher tyres than Bants, and at the moment, he looks like he has a small pace advantage. Gary is also staying with Bants on those old medium tyres. And Triton now, and the lap counter for the tyres is not updating for me, so I'll have to remember that he pitted at the same time as Copy did. He has 2 lap old mediums. This has happened before with Triton, I'm pretty sure. I don't know why, but it's bugged out for me a few times. That's his view forward towards both his teammate and Gary as well. Yeah, two DNFs on 0 laps. Yep, you missed some interesting things, Tipsy. There was a crash lap 1. We didn't get much of it on camera, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But Luca out of the race on lap 1. It also heavily affected Atrocity, who had to pit pretty much straight after that. So it looks like everyone has DRS down this front straight. It's not showing for me with Triton, but I'm pretty sure he did. And Bants now might have to be looking in his mirrors a little bit more than ahead, because Copy is stretching his legs a little bit in that Sauber. He definitely has the pace advantage.
Yeah, definitely got rid of Bants already, and Gary will try and do something about that. Triton is lurking behind them, but Gary has to pit again. Triton and Bants don't have to pit again.
Yep, absolutely right.
That's the difference.
So Gary with those very old tyres, and he is staying with Bants at the moment, so I'm sure he'll be kicking himself because he's got very good pace in that McLaren. And now he's starting to struggle to stay with that Renault. He's got Triton breathing down his neck on much better tyres. The last couple of corners they go. I think Gary will have DRS here, so it'll be a little bit difficult for Triton to overtake. Triton's got a good slipstream though. Not a good enough slipstream. Triton overshoots the corner very slightly as well. So we've got several drivers in this race who look like they might be picking up some good points Ocean and Kirst and Wimpy all in the top 10 right now. Miratish is going to have to pit again very soon. He was another one that was involved in those lap 1 shenanigans. Get Own, meanwhile, is hanging on to the back of this little group. He's on fresher tyres than everyone. He pitted a lap later than Copy and Triton did. Gary in that McLaren. He really is keeping up with Bants. And he's even putting pressure on Bants with those 8-lap-old tyres. So he definitely has good pace in that McLaren.
Yeah, Ben's slightly missing the apex by the looks of it again. I think his drive is not flawless.
Oh, mistake from Bants out of the last corner there. And now he's under all sorts of pressure from the McLaren, and Gary going to try and go around the outside. Can he brake later? Bants brakes nice and late on the inside.
Lock up.
Gary around the outside. He's going to try and get the traction down as they go into turn 2. Bants maybe with a nose ahead, but Gary with the inside line. A little bit. Triton's in the mix there as well, of course. Just as he was then.
Oh, and Gary goes off track and he rejoins, almost wiping out Bants by the looks of it, but now he's not past, he gets a penalty, and Triton is really close now. So Triton putting pressure on Gary, while Gary puts pressure on Bants, so that was close. It almost looked like he was going to slip on the grass and come across track, but he didn't, so fair enough.
So Bants has managed to stay ahead for now, but all of this battling, and it's doing a couple of things. One, it's allowing Copy to get away further up the road, and the other thing, that Get Owned, he's only 2.5 seconds back, and he looks like he's got a reasonable amount of pace, certainly enough to worry the 3 cars in front of him. And Gary, of course, will probably have to pit again. Not sure what tyres he's going to put on. Maybe even the Ultras, as Atrocity pits from the lead. Puts another set of soft tyres to go to the end of the race. Again, we rejoin the battle. So Copy now leads, and that is his real position. Atrocity, though, is not out of this yet. We know what good pace he's got, and he's got fresh soft tyres now. It's a 7-second gap to Get Owned. I imagine that is going to come down pretty quickly.
Yeah, he'll be on the hunt. How many penalties has Gary got? I'll have a look.
At least 1, maybe 2. I saw one a couple of laps ago.
It is 3.
3. Okay, so Gary not really in this fight at all in that case. It's Bants and Triton who are looking good for podiums at the moment.
Bants 2 warnings, Triton 1 penalty, no warning.
Okay.
Copy 1 warning yet. And let me have a look. Atrocity has got 2 penalties. Get Owned has got 2 penalties. So Akos has got 1. Yeah.
So Bants again under pressure here as they head down the main straight. Did get a better run that time though, so maybe Gary not quite close enough this time as the 3 of them go down this front straight together. Copy getting away all the time and having a little bit of a look up the inside there, the McLaren. Bants again keeping that door firmly shut, and again,
And Gary wants to open that door with brute force, even though there was no room to open the door.
Yeah, well, he didn't lose the position, Bants, but he certainly lost some time, and that was very impatient from Gary, almost wiping the pair of them out. And Get Owned behind is now closing right up to these 3, and even Atrocity as well is going to be very interested in this scrap very soon indeed.
Triton and Bants have certainly got experience with having one driver between them in Hungary as teammates, and things going wrong in that specific corner, so that was a mild come out for that move.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Gary did back off to give Bants the position after he'd done that as well.
Yeah, I think so as well.
Good stuff from him, playing fair.
Would be better stuff if he hadn't opened the door.
That is true.
I brute force before that, but fair enough. I mean, one thing is to make a mistake, the other thing is to realize it and try and change it back into its original, the situation back into its original state, and no
move to be
opening
done
of the
into
door
turn
this
2.
time.
Yeah,
Exactly.
absolutely. So
I should abandon that metaphor.
so it's a 4-car battle now. It's going to be a 5-car battle very soon as well. O'Connor, who's atrocity, of course, did the fastest lap of the race the last time around, so he is pushing very hard indeed. Wimpy, something happened to Wimpy, we didn't see what. He was running very well, and now suddenly he's a lap down, running just behind his teammate there on the road. Promoted Ocean Chief and Cursed and Dead Pixel into points paying positions at the moment. Ocean Chief with 3 seconds, and a mistake from Bants again in the penultimate corner. We've seen a few of them today. And yeah, Gary on very old tyres. I don't know how he's able to keep up with Bants, but he is keeping up with him at the moment. Qualified very well, of course, so obviously does have very good pace. As they head into turn 1. Triton just keeping a watching brief. He'll know what the score is. And that Gary probably will have to pit again. Copy looks like he has this race all but sewn up, but with 10 laps to go, this is the 4-car scrap, and you'll see just behind in the Force India, there he is. Wimpy lets him through. Atrocity is going to be on these guys within a couple of laps, I would have thought. And yeah, the Triton display, Tipsy, is a bug, unfortunately. Triton pitted the same lap as Copy, so he has 9 lap old mediums at the moment.
What does it tell?
It says 0 for me. It said 0 since he pitted.
Ah, okay.
But yeah, he's got 9
Great.
lap old mediums.
Ah, that's what he meant with the tire hack. I was a bit confused.
Yeah, exactly. So
Atrocity now almost on the back of them. He can certainly already see get owned at the end of the straights. The straights admittedly not being too long.
yeah, absolutely. It's a 4-car train about to become a 5-car train. We see this occasionally in Hungary. A driver able to keep others behind him, even though he might not quite have the pace, and that certainly is the case with Bants at the moment. Gary, though, not falling off with those tyres at all, is managing to stay with Bants. He's on much, much older tyres. 6.5 seconds now is Copy's lead. As we see through the middle part of the lap. Again, Triton just keeping a watching brief at the moment. He is actually in 3rd place, I believe, because of the penalty situation. Gary has 3 penalties. Triton only has the 1. Bants doesn't have any just yet. So Bants keeping his nose clean.
Does Gary even plan to pit? I guess he has to.
I think
No way he's going to drag them 28 laps.
I would have thought so. That's a long time to keep, but he's not losing pace here, so I wonder why he's not losing pace and whether he plans to pit. And he's really putting pressure on Bants here on those much older tyres. Bants is going to have to go to the inside here. He does go defensive. Gary to the outside. Bants getting his braking right, though. There's no gap for Gary as he goes through the first corner. And again, too far behind to try anything into turn 2. Triton again! Oh, Triton!
Oh no, Triton! Get on! Runs into them and Atrocity barely avoids it.
That was a huge lunge from Triton. He was a long way behind.
It ends in tears.
So Triton was the first one to blink. He was the man who made the impatient move. Unfortunately for him, it ends in tears for him as Atrocity has an excellent move on Get Owned into the twisty bits out of the chicane. He got the traction down and he got the move done. It was a completely clean pass. So Atrocity up into 4th place on the road. And he is catching Gary as well. Gary's still not pitted. He's on 20 lap old mediums with 8 laps to go. Wonder if he is going to come into the pits at any point. Doesn't seem to be losing pace at the moment. Atrocity keeping a watching brief just behind. He is going to be on the back of these two before very long at all. So 8 laps to go and an 8-second lead for Copy. It looks like his lead pretty much unassailable at the front. It's going to be maximum points for Copy, and that puts him right back, I think, in the championship hunt after a couple of races where he didn't do quite so well. In this one, he's done everything absolutely perfectly, but Gary is really not losing grip on those tyres.
Oh, but they're both losing time to Bants, to Atrocity.
Yeah, Atrocity now right on the back in that Force India. This is going to get very, very dicey very soon indeed. Atrocity looking for a gap. Oh, and again.
Oh, and Gary gets it all wrong, and O'Connor just, or Atrocity just sees that and takes the position without any hesitance. And wait.
So Atrocity up to 3rd, and he's going to be up to 2nd, I think, before too long as well, because he's now all over the back of Bants on much, much better tyres. Goes to the outside. He's going to be able to brake later, I think, around the outside. Does the switchback move. Very, very nicely done. And I think he's got the drag race into turn 2. So Atrocity going to try and sweep around the outside. Bants running a little tiny bit wide, still side by side as they go through turn 2. But yeah, just more grip for Atrocity, and he does get that move done on Bants in the first part of the lap. Good stuff from Atrocity. Now he's got to try and close up the... Gary gets himself 3 more seconds. He's trying very hard in that McLaren. Atrocity trying to close the gap to Copy, but that might be too much, and of course he's got penalties as well as Atrocity. So it looks like Copy is going to win this race. Bants, though, has got his hands full trying to keep that McLaren behind him, and Get Owned now is right on the back as well. 3 more seconds for Triton. His race has fallen apart a little bit, unfortunately for him, since that moment in turn 2.
After this race, Copy will be, if he wins that, on 36 points. Astro Boys is in P1 with 148, so 12 points gap there. And Get Owned, where is he currently? In P5?
Yep, he is 5th at the moment.
That gives him...
in fact, he's not 5th, he's 4th. He's ahead of Gary. Yeah, he definitely is.
That will give him 12 points, so he would be in the lead of the championship again by 3 points.
Yep, wow. So it's swung back and forth this season a lot so far, and Get Owned with a very good race here today.
Oh, Bants getting a little love tap.
Gary looking even faster on those old tyres. As they get older, he seems to get faster relative to Bants, which is very interesting.
Tire hack. Just kidding.
Well, he's certainly able to look after them, and we've seen his driving. It's been quite ragged, so he's doing something to extend the life of those tyres, and it seems to be working for him at the moment. He's still all over the back of Bants.
6 seconds of penalties for him, and it looks like he might be...
Oh, we'll never know what it looks like.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeet.
What is it? What does it look like?
Like he might be able to build that gap up. Probably is.
Yeah.
It's only 3 seconds left. He has to build up, and then he has got it.
Bants again having to defend from Gary. He's going to try and go around the outside of turn 2. Bants breaks a little bit late, pushes him a little bit wide. Again, using all of the road. Gary getting a lot of oversteer on the exit. Get Owned is, again, just keeping a watching brief. He'll know what the penalty situation is. Five laps to go in this one. Atrocity has closed the gap to 7 seconds up front, but I don't think it's going to be enough. I think Copy has driven a masterful race. Didn't panic when he had Bants ahead of him, just calmly executed the overcut, and from then on it was plain sailing for him. And this battle right up front is where the action is at the moment. As Akos manages to pass Ocean Chief. Where was that? I was in the long right-hander before the chicane, so Akos moves himself up to 7th place on the road. Meanwhile, Gettle having a look up the inside of Gary in that McLaren. Again, 25 lap old tyres on that McLaren for Gary. And, well, he's attacking just as much as he ever has been. All over the back of that Renault. Well, he rear ends Bants there into the right-hander.
Oh, Bants. Oh, what's it like for me?
He hit him, yeah, only gently, but he did hit him.
Oh boy. Bants did not crack under that physical pressure yet.
He's done extremely well under pressure so far this race as Bants. He's driven very well indeed. Looks like he's going to get himself a podium for his trouble, because he's got fewer penalties than both Gary and Get Owned behind him. So even if Gary gets past here,
yeah, he's still probably got the edge on him in the end.
So under the front straight they go. Akos with 3 more seconds. I'm just looking for the telltale line on Gary's tyres down the middle to show that they're worn, and it's not there. Oh, it maybe is there. Maybe just barely, but only just.
For whose tyres?
For Gary's tyres on those mediums.
I can see it. There's that line, but it's barely visible.
Yeah, barely visible. So they're not too badly worn, those tyres, after 26 laps, and we've seen how he's been driving. He's been attacking. So into the 33rd lap they go. Copy looks like he's got it sewn up. Atrocity looks like he might have second sewn up, pending the penalty situation. But I think he is ahead of Bants. I think he has 6 or fewer seconds of penalties in that Force India. Through the right-hander they go. Again, maybe now the tyres just starting to give up on that McLaren, but he is able to stay with Bants at least. Two laps to go at the end of this one then. Copy has already started his 34th lap.
Oops. Just don't mind.
Again, Meritish with more penalties. It was a very promising qualifying for him, and it's fallen apart a little bit in the race.
Yeah, unfortunate. Where did he start?
I think he started. I think he was in that pack, wasn't he? Towards the back end of the top 10, I think. Not exactly sure though.
He started in P5 actually.
Oh, he started 5th. Okay, yeah. Oh, because he started in the ultras. Yeah, he did. Yeah. So.
Yeah. It got the better of Jesse in the end.
Yep, absolutely. On the ultra soft tyres, but yeah, the first few laps for him didn't go quite so well. Bants, though, again under a lot of pressure from this McLaren behind him.
Yeah, it's really impressive the show he's putting on here. Just Bants!
A little bit of a mistake. He was all right though. That didn't quite leave a car width on the inside there for Gary to slide into.
Yeah, and at the end of this race, Gary will have done 29 laps on one set of medium tires.
Yep. So Gary with...
Oh, and he goes for the lunge! They are side by side now. Still making contact, and please don't cosplay what happened last year, thank you. Well, Bants hang it down the inside. He does. They are still side by side, I guess. Yeah.
Fantastic battle between the two of them. And
Get on
yeah.
gets alongside both of them. Get on takes 2 for the price of 1 for the moment only, though, because.
Oh, and a bit of contact there, I think, between Get Owned and Bants. I don't know if that was netcode contact or what, but a little bit of contact through the long right-hander, but Gary has managed to force his way past. But I don't think it'll help him very much, unfortunately for him, because he's got so many penalties that he'll be behind both of those two, and maybe even behind Triton as well. I don't know. Get Owned also getting past in the deal as well. But coming through to cross the line, then Copy wins the race in the Sauber. Atrocity not very far behind after those first couple of laps. And the drama that we had then. Gary's going to cross the line third, but he's not going to finish third in that McLaren. He's going to fall behind both Bants and Get Owned. And also Triton as well. So Gary ends up 6th, Bants 3rd, Get Owned 4th, Triton 5th. A fantastic drive from both Renault drivers and from Get Owned as well, who gets himself back into the championship lead with that performance.
I think it was certainly a good race for how dull Hungary races can be.
Yeah.
I think we got a good one for that. There was a lot of action. We had a bit of carnage in the beginning, and we had some good battles. And also, I had a real great shocking moment in turn 4 in the end, because all cars de-synced and tried to climb each other, and yeah, it was absolutely blistering.
And Milos Martika gets himself 4 points.
Oh boy!
For 8th position, so Cursed with a great drive, getting himself into the points, getting himself 4 championship points. So good stuff from Cursed. Ocean Chief also in the points as well. So there we have it. That was your Hungarian Grand Prix, folks. Copy is the winner. Atrocity with an excellent recovery drive. In second place, Bants with an excellent defensive drive, making it 3rd. Get Owned finishing 4th. Triton, who actually did stop, even though the interface says that he doesn't, finished 5th. Gary and Akos, representing Team Cardos, both finishing 6th and 7th. Gary going 29 laps on those medium tyres in the second half of the race. Cursed finishing 8th, Ocean Chief 9th, and Dead Pixel picking himself up a point in the other Red Bull. He finishes 10th.
So, yeah, that's your result of the Hungarian Grand Prix, and I think back to the usual business. Who do you think deserves driver of the day?
Bants.
I was about to make cases for the top 3, and was about to say something like, yeah, Copy won. He was the fastest. Atrocity was the fastest on the other strategy, but I kind of wanted to give it to Bants.
I want to give it to Bants just because of the nature of that drive. He was under pressure pretty much the whole race and withstood it expertly. It was really a fantastic defensive drive. So I think I would give driver of the day to Bants. Honourable mentions, yeah, as you said, for Copy for flawless race up front pretty much. Atrocity for making the 2-stop work even after that incident in the first stint. Just on pure pace, he was able to get back into second place. But yeah, I kind of would want to give driver of the day to Bants. Oh, whoa, indeed, Mr. Bants.
Hello?
Hello?
I didn't hear any of that, but I'm sure I agree.
Okay. But yeah, I want to give Bants driver of the day.
Yeah, I agree.
Alright, Bants is the official SLR driver of the day. I wonder if he wants to come in here for a chat with us after being given that accolade. I have a feeling that he might do. Let's see if he magically appears in the
Hey.
Discord within the next 10 or 15
Hey.
seconds.
Hello.
Hello. You are our official SLR Tier 1 driver of the day, Mr. That Bants. How does it feel?
My entire life I've prepared for this very moment. I knew it would come, just not when. No. I think I need to start handing out parking tickets for the guys that are behind me.
Yeah, they were trying their very hardest, but yeah, you weren't giving them any well, I mean you gave them room when you needed to give them room, but you weren't giving them any quarter, and they stayed behind you for the most part.
Well, not in the last lap.
Yeah, not in the last lap.
Yeah. But I knew I didn't have any penalties, and Triton told me they had loads, so I wasn't. Yep. I just let them both pass because it would have killed me, maybe. I don't know.
Yep, absolutely right. Because it got you a podium.
They got very hectic.
So yeah,
Indeed.
You got yourself an SLR Tier 1 podium, which, I mean, they're not easy to get these days. There's some fast boys in SLR Tier 1. So you must be pretty happy.
Yeah, I was definitely far from the fastest, but no one could get past me.
Well, I mean, you were pretty quick. You were, what, the second of the... I think Copy qualified ahead of you on softs, but I think he was the only one, right?
Oh, softs was good, but mediums I was not very quick at all on. So Copy was gone instantly when we went on the mediums.
He had a lot of pace, and he did the overcut. We had Etney in chat saying that he thought the overcut was better than the undercut here because of the cold tires. So I guess you, did you pit earlier than you planned to try and preempt the undercut, or what was your thinking there?
No, I wasn't sure how it would go, but Triton told me he'd like to pit lap 15, and maybe something could have happened in that lap, and I didn't want to change his strategy call either, and I didn't want to pit one lap after that, just in case something, Copy does something, so I just went in. He was too quick for me anyway, so it was nice enough to have him, behind me for a while, but I knew that was not going to last.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, he's not slow by any stretch of the imagination. Triton's asking to join, can he?
Yeah, absolutely. Come on in, Triton.
Hey.
Hello there.
Hello, Triton. How's it going?
Kenobi.
Yes, may the 4th be with you all.
Yes, absolutely it is. May the 4th today.
Yes.
So, 5th place for you, Triton. We saw a couple of little... I mean, Thimo was saying pretty much all the way through commentary with you two, Bants and Triton, and another car in turn 2.
You just saw the Vietnam helicopters.
We're saying in our call.
And the Ferrari.
Yeah, what was your thought process with that whole thing? I mean, were you waiting for something to happen ahead? Like, what were you thinking at that point?
I was waiting for Bants to move out of the way because Team would know. But no, for us, his idea was that he may as well back everyone up a bit because because we were kind of slow. Or we were kind of slow in general. So and they were on a little bit worn tires. So our best bet was like if we held them up, I could catch them on the straight. But I accidentally missed I did not dive. If you saw that,
I was gonna ask about that. I wondered if you just missed your braking and sort of sent one up the inside by accident.
Yeah, I missed the braking because I moved off the line and I kind of goofed the grip and stuff. So
yeah, fair enough.
I was struggling for grip pretty much the whole race, but I am happy from last to P5. So
yeah, starting from the back of the grid. What happened in qualifying, by the way? We didn't see your...
I got a screen freeze.
Oh, you got a screen freeze?
I have it on recording. I'll tell you. I got a screen freeze.
Oh dear, that's really unfortunate.
I don't know what happened, but like that's not what killed me. It was, like behind me. Think it or not, but like he punted me a bit and it put me into the wall because of that. So it's not really his fault, but yeah. Yeah. I was a bit frustrated. I was not really frustrated. I was just a bit perplexed.
Yeah. That's really with your first lap as well. That's really unfortunate because you've not set a time, so you're going to be right at the back. But yeah, I mean, we had fun watching you as well. So fantastic performance.
Yes, driver of the day confirmed.
Yeah, we gave it to Bants, I'm afraid.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say if it's not me, Bants. He did the epic drive to hold everyone up.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, you certainly get an honourable mention though. So there were lots of good drives out there today. So and you were certainly
I'll
one
take it.
That's road to block.
So is it Spa next, right? Spa before Italy or Italy before Spa?
Yeah,
Spa
it is
before
Spa.
Italy. Yeah, yeah. So how are you
That
guys
is
feeling
fun.
about that?
I'm
Very
going
nice.
to. I don't know. I have to practice.
Yeah, I think practicing for any track but Spa is a whole other animal. It's pretty epic.
Although I'm not even an SLR driver, so I would have to see if I'd even have a slot. So
Yeah, that's true.
we'll see
I mean,
about
after
that.
today, it's looking good for you. So
Well, thanks both for joining us. I think we're gonna wrap the stream up there, folks, because it has been a lot of fun today. We saw a great race, and we saw Copy win. We saw Get Owned get his way back to the top of the Drivers' Championship, and we saw two Renaults in the top 5 in the form of Bants and Triton, who both had fantastic races. Any final thoughts from anyone?
Timo?
No,
Oh, well, that's it then.
I will never think about anything. So.
Oh dear. No final thoughts. Sorry, folks. I know you were waiting for them. We'll see you next time. Thanks a lot for watching.
Bye bye.